All right, so Steven and I have started fitting up the new front end. We used this piece here that Jose made me, and we marked out the holes and then bolted up the middle here center. And I am going to trim out the dimple dies in the bumper, but as well as I have to trim it right here for the wastegate just a little bit. But we started mounting the driver side fender. It is bolted on back here, and then we've got these bolts on it. So we did mark it here, and then we marked it where we wanted it with the door on, then took the door off so we could have all the room, you know, and got it perfect to my marks. It's pretty awesome. We had a mark right there on the corner as well, so we got it all set up. And then we're going to do this last. So next up, we're coming around to this side. We're gonna fit this side. So we're working on, we got to get it marked out and set up where we want it, and then from there, you know, we'll take the door off. We'll make, so before I take the door off, Steven's gonna hold it in place, open and hinge the door, make sure it doesn't hit, rub it all, and then we'll go ahead and we'll start fitting everything. So you see we already marked where all the bolt holes are, so when we drop it down we can see that. And once both fenders are mounted, then we'll bring the bumper up to it, and we'll mount the bumper, and we'll get the hood on and everything going together. This thing's gonna look so good. All right, so I just made a little bit of a bracket to hold the bottom here. So I did drill the hole and bolt it up to the bottom of the car, just flat with down here like it would an EF. CRXs do bolt up right here with these two bolts for their fender, but this one utilizes the farthest bottom bolt down here underneath. So all right, back to what I was talking about. I made a little 90 bracket. It just 90s, so it goes bing, bing, bing. So it's like a little S strap kind of thing. I guess not full S, but you know, like that. So there's a hole down here and a hole up here. And then before, when the fender was bolted all the way down here, I couldn't open the door. And the guy that made the front end did warn me that I might have to trim here, but if you see here, I spaced it out just a little bit on the outside of the door, all the way down, a little bit more down here on the bottom just because of this opening thing, but pretty much all the way to where this panel is the same distance. Super nice. I like it a lot, and the gap here is freaking almost none. It's amazing, and it is super sturdy, super rigid. I'm super impressed, but I do need to get my door pins fixed because the door still sags. But look at that. So then I just gotta pick up on the door to close it because it's a sagger, I guess. But yes, all right, but so that got that gap looking amazing. I'm super impressed with that. I like it a lot. I took the hood risers out and I have the hood on right now, and it is closing all the way up. Look at that super great gap there. So the hood is hitting right here on the very front on this piece I have built. So I'll go ahead and trim out where the hood latch is supposed to bolt on and stuff, so this can sit down just on the very front. Because I mean, we're rigid, but look, we got a little bit, so it'll come down just a little bit more. It already looks really, really nice on the headlight here. So I have the SIR headlight in still. I was looking at putting stock ones in, but I think I'm gonna be able to make these work. This side I didn't have to trim at all. I haven't had to trim at all. This side stuck out a little bit. You see this piece, so I took my sander and I just sanded a nice beautiful edge there, and then I'm just gonna cut this flap off but I want to get a nicer, less abrasive disc for when I do that. And then I'll be able to put this headlight in and see how this side fits. And then once we get that fender fit, we'll fit the bumper to the fenders. And I'm not sure exactly, we might just sandwich it, but we might do push buttons. We're gonna figure that out once we get there. But man, this is like, the seams are coming together super nice. I'm pretty impressed. All right guys, I just couldn't wait. So I went ahead and I fitted the bumper up on this side, and man, does it freaking look amazing. Oh, I am so pumped up. Like, look at all of these gaps, dude. Door swing. Oh my God. And then we got the goods in here, dude. Look at this. So we're getting this thing fitted up. Carbon Kevlar dash. Woo! So I think I gotta trim down more up here so I can get this over more, and then I can get the other side in. If not, hi Lily. If not, I could just trim this and slide it back, but it would be the coolest if I, you know, so what I'm trying to explain is I'll have to notch past on that side, like further, unless I do it on this side, I'll notch further so I can push farther than I need to go to reach that side over and in. What is up? So I went ahead and I trimmed the flap off, and this headlight already fit in there. I kind of sanded the edge pretty nicely. Oh. All right, so in here, in there, I kind of sanded that edge. You see the headlight is touching it, but it's and the front of it is further back than how it was before. But this side is broken on the pinch weld right here. I have that. So this side's a little flimsy, and I mounted everything off of that side. And with where it is right now, the headlight is freaking amazing. So I'm gonna bring the hood down and show you guys what I got going on. I am gonna cut all of this out though, because that's gonna let this center come down more. So we come down, see we're right there. Okay, this side needed a little bit of a push down. Right there. It's on. I think I could do this one first, yep. So we put that one down. That one going down. Pushed me over. I think we want to do this one first because that pushed me on top of the fender a little bit. Alright guys, so I'm working my way around. I fit the corner light in on this side, and man, it looks so freaking good. So I've made it over here to this side now. I need to get a new passenger corner light because when I hit the wall in February at sick week, it busted the tab off of the corner light that goes to the corner of the headlight. So I have a good corner light, just no tab to hold it on. This side though is a little bit tighter than the other side. You see it is not quite overlapping, but it is pressing up against it until about up here. And that's even with me. I notched and pulled out the fender as much as I could. I have a few washers in back here to hold this out. So that's kind of like, it holds this out here, and then, you know, I pulled all this, tried to get it. It's stiff, man, it's stiff. So right now I'm working on getting the bottom fit up. So it's gonna have a little bit of a kick like that. See that? So it's gonna look like that. And I'll set you down here. Even with me opening the door, if I hold it kicked out, it's perfect. So I'm trying to get that bolt on right now down here, and it is actually a little difficult because the car was hit over here by the wheel quite aggressively. So I had to straighten out the metal, and then I just had the freaking new bolt right here. I had to find a bolt that was a little bit longer than the one I had because it wouldn't reach. So there's the hole. Where's my 10? This is where you get yourself. You always put stuff in your pockets, hide stuff from you. So right here, we got it. I am using you guys to hold the fender up right now, just so you know. Alright. Ah, I shouldn't have let go with you guys. Prop you guys up so I can use my other hand. Pry this forward a little bit more. That was all folded up in there, causing us to not be able to reach the nut or the bolt hole. It is just a rubber nut, but should be onto something. Don't think we are. We're very close though, I can feel it. So on the other side, I went and found an oil pan stud, threaded it into the nut, and then just plop the fender right over the top. I might do that on this side too if I don't get it. It feels so much like I'm threading into it, but I think I'm just threading the air. Alright, let's check the threads. Let's grab our flashlight. Let's change the direction so we can see the nut. I got it. This required some pressure on the back to get it started. The nut was smashed, you know, so it's angry. Chasing it with a tap would be the best thing to do. Alrighty, got that guy all tightened up. See diet, and then the gap over here isn't too bad. It's a little bit bigger than the other side, but you can see it's still 3/8 of an inch, really tight. Door, how close the door gets when it swings, you know, right up on it. So there's some few things we need to do. Adjust the doors, get the side skirts to fit back up, because the fenders are a lot longer than my old ones. I will just have to trim the tip of this down so that I can bolt it back up and it looks all nice and flush. I will probably end up getting 4 or 5 inch ones again, like I used to have on the car, because it just Looks way much better when they're super deep. I like it a lot. Everyone else seems to like it a lot as well. But that concludes it for the front end. The front end is fitted. The CRX has a carbon Kevlar front end, and now we just got to drill holes for the exhaust, of course, the turbo, the intercooler, and yeah, look at that gap. That's a killer gap on this side, but still, it's amazing. The thing fits great. Look at the gaps on the headlight there, right next to it. This one is right there, just a little bit above it, but I mean, it's because it's kind of pushing on it. And there, I could adjust maybe my hood fitment and get this a little better. It is super tight on both front corners, so I think it is kind of just the way it's going to be. Need to get this corner light, and then I need to run these wires behind the headlight. See this little block? They're supposed to go behind that, and I just put them in front right now. Just keep moving forward with ease. It's a little bit harder to bolt the headlight in when you have that behind it, but it will go. This is sick. This is really sick, guys. She looks so mean, dude. Oh my goodness. And then there's no hood risers now. There's some slight trimming I want to do, but like, look at that. So it comes up a little bit right there. I think the engine might be holding it. Not sure. It is solid as a rock except for in the middle. So the sides way more solid than the center is. And that could be the timing side over here. I'm not sure exactly, but epic. This is so freaking rad. Oh man. Dash is next. I've already started trimming. Just need to notch both sides a little bit more so we can get it dove in there. I'm so freaking pumped up, guys. This is awesome. All right, it's time to make my way around the front with the holes. I started with the exhaust. I could have gone forward a little bit. As you can see, we're rubbing right there on that very front edge, but I am happy with the hole overall. We got close to a 1/2 inch there, close to a 1/2 inch there, a little close there. I used a 4.5 inch hole saw, 4-inch exhaust, so there's gonna be some play. I was trying to get it to where I could take it on and off, and I don't know, it's gonna be tight, but sick. So next up we got the turbo. Ugh, can't really see it. Oh man, this one's a fun one. So the best way to do it is to put the coupler and everything on and then mark the circle and drill from the back, because it's hard just to shoot in the dark. And then we're gonna just take this to the intercooler and have a little kind of center half triangle. It'll end right about here. Yeah. All right, we got the dash fitted in here, guys. So we had a notch over here, pretty good. See that, guys? But look at that fitment right there, dude. Oh my gosh, like that fits up on the door really, really nice. It could come up a little bit higher. I think I can come up higher, but we're pinching it right now. Let's pop it up a little bit, just a tad. Yeah, see, it goes up, no problem. And then door closes. Yeah, look at that. So there are no bolts, no nuts, nothing holding it yet, but my freaking gosh, guys, that looks so good. Sheesh. All right, check it out. So this side isn't as flush there, but it is still really good. The top of this goes with the top of that. It goes over. I'm gonna move the buttons up into here. It's gonna look so good. Oh my goodness. Well, guys, the freaking CRX is coming right along. I've got the intercooler hole cut. I'm gonna make a little trim piece for it so it cleans up some of the edges. You know, I marked it out, tried my best, and that is probably the best edge right there, but the rest of them could use some work. This one in particular. But man, does it look freaking amazing. So I need to do the turbo hole. That is the hardest one. I need to get behind there and mark with the marker. I put the coupler on the turbo, so it is probably flush with it and I can mark it pretty easily, but that is the next step. I got the dash all in there, as well as I do not have any bolts in the dash yet, so I need to go ahead and put the factory little tabs back on, or build my own tabs to hold the dash and everything on. And then I might do one or something to hold up the sides and the back. This driver's side, it holds up pretty nice, but it's kind of sagging over there on the passenger side. So fit that up, take care of that. It's looking amazing. I'm pumped up. So sick. Super sick. Dang, all right. So I cut the turbo hole. This one is way better than the last one. Last time I couldn't even take the coupler on or off without having to fidget with it and get it all crooked, try and put it in angled. And now it just goes in straight. It's perfect. Oh man, I'm so excited, dude. It's awesome. So we got that in there, and then this guy sits pretty much flush, touches the top a little bit, and I think that's the furthest point, so that's all that it barely touches, is right up here. But Steven would like me to get that thing set to where I don't have a coupler holding it, and we will for sure get that going on after sick week, because we have to run the filter and the couplers and all that stuff, the tube to put the filter out here on sick week. So we'll get that done, we'll run sick week, and then we'll keep moving. We'll rivet the velocity stack on, and I think I'm gonna do a few little trim rings and stuff to clean up some of these edges. Ah man, it looks so good. It looks so freaking good, dude. Dang this coupler. Woo. Yeah, it looks awesome. And then these are Gordo's wheels on it right now, and we were just talking about the offset is like perfect. They sit right on the edge. I am looking into getting wider wheels of sorts. I would like to get 10-inch wheels on here. It would help with the contact patch and hooking up and all that good stuff. But freaking dude, it looks so good. Lily loves it. She loves it. Keep trying to get her away from here because I'm cutting stuff and all this stuff, and she's like, nah dude, I'm about it. She goes and rolls in the dirt and gets all the gross stuff off of her. Crazy cats. That's it. Dude. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and below. This is GoofyBuilt, and peace out.